Hi, this is Dennis Stout, and thank you for joining me for this episode of the Windfarm Guy. I was recently in an area where someone expressed a concern about repeating what took place at Paw Paw. Well, outside of Paw Paw, Illinois is the site of the state's first wind farm, built back in 2003. At that time, apparently it was reported that the landowners were not being taken care of, and that the wind farm companies were not taking care of those landowners. Well, I wanted to find out what actually happened so that I could avoid those pitfalls. So I drove to Paw Paw myself to visit with those landowners. You need to know that that original project is no longer still there. It's been removed and replaced with a new one. Some of these landowners that I visited with were here for the construction period of both of those projects. Here is what they had to say. And tell me, just generally speaking, how has it been for you? Has it been good for you?
It's been a good experience. We're involved with two different companies and can't say anything bad about either one.
So I think their communication was very good. They did everything they said they were going to do from our perspective.
Yes, I mean, as far as any tile lines or anything, if you have an issue, I mean, they've fixed tile lines already 3-4 years after construction. I mean,
we felt they were very communicative. We met with the project coordinator, I guess is who he was, way before the project started. And he came and sat down with us and talked with us, even though we don't have skin in the game. We don't have a turbine on our property.
Right. The turbines make some sound.
They do.
How does that affect you?
It's not that loud.
The larger ones are quieter. The
larger being the newer ones.
The newer ones, yes.
Right. All right. So, and like right now, they're operating.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you
Actually, kind of relaxing now at this time where it's like really like it's breezy, but not bad. It's really relaxing to hear it.
Very rarely, I wouldn't even say the sound is bothersome. I would say it's more so occasionally you can just hear them. Like when they first put up the new ones, I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, is that an airplane really low to the ground? And really it was just the turbines picking up and turning, but honestly, you get used to it.
Does the noise bother us? Heck no. We're, 2 miles from 39, a mile and a half from 39. I can hear that just as much as I can hear the turbine. So if you listen right now, what do you hear? You hear the wind going through the trees.
sound don't bother me. I mean, we live right next to a very busy county highway, and I mean, truck traffic makes more sound than what you get out of these turbines.
Sure.
I mean, it's just like any other thing. There goes a vehicle now. I mean, you can hear that louder than you hear the turbines.
The noise that they make, no, I would not say is bothersome.
What about light, shadow?
Shadow flash. It was much more significant with the smaller turbines because, of course, there are more of them. There were 64 of those. Mm-hmm.
95% of the time, that does not bother me. On a perfectly, well-lit sunset night, I would say, the one to the west of us will flicker in the sunlight. But it really, like if I'm sitting in that room for a long period of time, or I just happen to be walking through, I might notice a few flickers, but it's not to the point where I would call somebody and be like, hey, this really irritates me. So
from, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounds like it's more you notice it, you're aware of it, rather than it's
a bother.
A bothersome.
Yeah, more, yeah.
Okay.
The most shadow flash was located kind of over your shoulder there. That one's not there anymore. And so again, 5 minutes until the sun moved on, and it's done.
And how many days out of the year?
A couple.
So you're talking 5 minutes on 2 days in a year.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
So it wasn't significant at all.
And as far as the flickering, that's something you really get used to. I mean,
the
flicker. Yeah, the shadow.
How does that?
It depends though, because it depends. Like I said, like when how high the sun is up. Like when it's like the sunset, that's a bit concerning because it becomes a bit much.
Of the 5 minutes, 2 days of the year, or whatever, however often it happens.
Sure.
Was it Did it bother you, or was it just noticeable?
It was just noticeable.
No, it really didn't bother me. I mean, it's
Okay.
just something you get used to. I mean,
Now, when you say a bit much, tell me what you mean by that.
Okay,
I mean, is it just noticeable, or is it bothersome?
Okay, it's more noticeable than it's bothersome. It's just extremely noticeable. So like I said, it's not an issue. It becomes like, it's just annoying. It's a mild annoyance.
Okay, let me ask you this: if you could give a piece of advice to someone else that's considering, another landowner that's considering being a part of a wind farm, what advice would you give them?
it's just like any other construction. If you ever experience being around construction of machine sheds or grain bins or whatever, it don't matter. If you've been around any kind of construction, it's just, I mean, you got to go with the flow. And
I would tell them not to let everyone else's opinions affect their decision.
My advice would be that it's really not a big deal. I mean,
Don't let others' opinions or feelings dictate what you feel is right. And that's the best advice I could give anybody.
Good.
Some people are concerned about the bird kill.
Definitely, like you mentioned before, when you said the birds and like the study in Norway, where like they painted like one black. I would really love that. Like I feel like we can implement that, and that would implement a lot of things because, like, I'm a part of bird organization society, so I rescue birds.
We've walked the windmill lanes, as we call them, since we lived here, up and down with the dogs, no dogs. And have I ever seen a lot of dead birds? No. One bat in 14 years. Now, there are critters around. Maybe they've, gobbled up whatever's come into contact with the turbines, but do I see lots of dead birds? No.
You've been a part of 2 projects. You don't
Yes,
have a
we have
turbine,
been.
but you've been a part of 2 projects.
That's correct.
So tell me your thoughts.
We moved out here knowing these were here. We bought the property knowing they were here.
to be 100% honest, I really don't have that many concerns with them. They don't really cause any trouble.
I know they're there. I can see them. I can see the reflections. I look out and I can see, when I look out at the sunset, oh, there's a wind turbine.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really see them anymore.
as far as the roads, I mean, they're kind of a blessing for agriculture. I mean, you got places for the fertilizer trucks to park.
I would say the only thing that I would say we deal with, not even on a daily basis, would be the traffic going by that's just to maintain the turbines.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah.
So,
And ultimately, you came to an agreement and you bought the house.
absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Would you do it again?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
If you had the chance, let's say you own some property, and you had the chance to put a turbine on it, would you do that?
I would say so. I would say, I actually don't even know how much someone would get, but let's say, if we did own some land, hypothetically speaking, and they were like, hey, can we put another one up there? I don't see the harm in doing that when, one, we're already surrounded by quite a few of them. And I mean, financially, it's kind of like a little extra income, so I don't see the harm in that at all.
If you like what I've presented today, be sure and click like and subscribe below. If you have comments or would like me to address a certain topic relative to wind farms, please also leave me a comment. Based on the folks that I interviewed, the project outside of Paw Paw was not the disaster that I had been told about. It was simply a case of rumors run amok. This is Dennis Stout, and I'm the Windfarm Guy. Thank you for watching. Working together, we can make good energy decisions and save our planet. I am the Windfarm Guy.